Hey everybody, we're here in the Koola Buck factory right now, and I want to show you kind of our elaborate testing facility, so to speak. But one thing that's important to know about the Koola Buck coolers is every single cooler that goes out the door of this facility is personally tested. Every single one of them, you know, we go through the same testing procedures with it. So what we do is, this is a controlled area out here. We keep this about 72 degrees, which you can actually come over here and I can actually show that to you. So we keep this at a constant 72 degrees out here. So when we set the units up, we've got the mad scientist over here behind the cooler, and he's going to kind of tell you a little bit about that, you know, in terms that I hope you can understand as far as the superheats and the pressures and everything like that are concerned. But yeah, this is one of our Koola Buck Junior units right here, and I can kind of unzip it and sort of show you inside here. But yeah, it's pretty ice cold in here right now, and this is our air baffle, and you can watch some of the other setup videos. I really didn't want to get into that with you right now, but yeah, so it's just a complete air circulation system. Sucks the air in down there at floor level, puts it through the cooling system, blows it up this air baffle here in the back and across the ceiling. Of course, all of you know hot air rises, so that pushes that air down around and just continues to recirculate it. So really nice unit. So I probably just messed him all up because I opened this up whenever he's back here running some of his tests. But if you come back here, this is Mitch. This is our mad scientist, our engineer here, and he's working on some refrigeration stuff here right now. So you can come over here and kind of get a look at his phone. So this is some pretty high-tech stuff here. So, and things that I really don't know too much about, Mitch. So why don't you tell them what you're looking at there?
So I got over here on the unit, I got 2 temperature sensors, 2 pressure sensors, one of each on the high side and one of each on the low side. So not only can I monitor the cabinet temperature, it was at 38 until Brad opened the door, and then he spiked me up to 44 in there. But so not only can I watch the cabinet temperature, but also the internal workings of the unit. The phone app that I use, all this is wireless, will take my pressures and my temperatures, and so I don't have to keep taking manual readings. It will give me my superheat and my subcooling constantly, and it'll log the data over a period of time, and I can send this over to the computer and break it down, look at it, make sure the unit's doing not only the obvious, getting down to temperature, but that it's doing what we want behind the scenes with everything as far as temperatures and pressures go. So
yeah. So I've said many times, you know, guys ask me, and I hear comments all the time on, you know, some of our YouTube posts, Facebook posts, guys say, well, you know, can I just slap an air conditioning unit in there? Well, does this look like any air conditioning unit that you've ever seen? I mean, this is a true commercial refrigeration system that you're going to find in any walk-in cooler unit. And another cool thing about this, and can get Mitch to tell you a little bit more about it, but this actual thermostat that you see on the back here is doing a lot more than just kind of monitoring the temperature inside there. So tell them a little bit, Mitch, about what that's doing, you know, as far as it measures the temperature of the air as it returns, right?
Yeah, sure. So this is a new Danfoss controller that we're using, and it's got 2 probes on it, both digital probes. Right here's the 2 wires for them. One measures the cabinet temperature, the temperature that's in the box. Because the box is portable and tears down, we have to keep the temperature probe back in here. So just as soon as the air is returned out of the cabinet, it's reading the temperature of it. Right now it's at 41 degrees.
Right.
And then the other probe is actually embedded in the evaporator coil. And what that does, the way we have it set, is it is a defrost thermostat. So it's only monitoring the coil temperature, and once it gets low enough to where it feels as though the coil is going to freeze up, or it is freezing up, this will go into defrost mode, so that it doesn't just continue to run. Say it's a hot day, say you open the door, say you hang an animal in it, whatever, and it's running longer than it would typically, then it will go into defrost mode if it ices up. So we got both. It'll cycle both on cabinet temperature, and if it were to ice up, it will cycle on that as well. So
yeah, so that's really cool again. And once again, you know, I get guys say, well, you know, how about an AC unit or whatever? Well, let me tell you, your air conditioning unit is not built to do what you're trying to make it do. So when you put it in there and you overload it, you know, either by way of a lot of hot meat, which Mitch calls, I think, load, is that what you call it? Like load?
Yeah, that's your heat load, or it contributes to the capacity. So
exactly. Yeah, so if you put that big heavy heat load in there, 150 pounds of hot meat inside there, and that load comes down on that air conditioning unit, it starts freezing it and icing it up. There's nothing that's going to tell that unit to shut off, you know, and let it defrost. It's just going to keep running and running and running till it freezes up solid as a brick, right? And then you're going to have to shut the whole system down, and it's really going to make a mess out of things. So, you know, that's what happens, you know, when you try to use something that's not made to do what you're trying to make it do. Air conditioning units were never made to have some temperature override put on there and put a whole bunch of hot meat in there. You might get away with that with produce, but whenever you start putting hot loads, heavy loads of meat in there, it's going to ice that thing up, and you're going to have a whole bunch of problems. So with this system here, the way it's set up, I mean, number one, that compressor system is about twice as big as what you're going to find with any, you know, household AC unit, unless you're hooking it up to a central air conditioning system or something like that. But, you know, you're going to have a lot more money in that. But so that's just kind of one of the things that I wanted to show you here today, so you understand, you know, what's going on with every one of them. Every one of these units is tested by this guy right here before it ever leaves the building. So when you get your unit, you know it's going to work, you know it's going to perform to the standards that we've set it to, and you know it's clear down into the 30s over here now. So this unit's a performing beast. So check it out, and let us know if you have any questions or comments.